Which Mercedes should I buy? So this morning, I was watching Car Wizard, which is Tyler Hoover's mechanic. I don't know, I think some of you watch Hoovy's Garage sometimes, but about 10 years ago, Tyler actually came and visited my shop, and Tyler is a really great guy. I love his channel, so if you haven't watched Hoovy's Garage, it's really entertaining. And I think that the greatest part of the channel is the man behind the channel. Just like the greatest part of this channel is probably Thomas. He's the man behind the channel. But anyway, okay. Anyway, I was watching this video from Car Wizard, and I was also watching Scotty Kilmer's videos about which Mercedes to buy and which not to buy. And granted, Scotty has started to acknowledge that Mercedes from like the 70s and 80s and stuff are really good cars. But I don't understand why when people make these kinds of reviews, they just talk about stuff that's like 20 years old. I don't know, because when you start comparing apples to oranges, if the classic Mercedes are the apples and the new Mercedes are the oranges are always sour. I don't know. It just seems that way to me. I think that it would be better if these videos were titled, which modern Mercedes can I buy to run into the ground during winter driving? Or which modern Mercedes can I buy to give my teenager so that when they get into their first accident, I don't call them from the emergency room and I just have to pick them up from the accident scene. These are all relevant and valid questions, but one thing that irks me about all these channels is they never juxtapose the idea of getting an older car like a 126 or 124, 123 chassis compared to getting a newer car like a W203 or 204 or W220S class or something like that. Now, I realize that there are people out there that just want a new Mercedes, but one thing that a lot of you people don't realize is that these new cars cost just as much money to maintain as the old ones. The hourly rates are the same, and even though you might need fewer parts, all of those parts are astronomically priced. For example, if you want to buy a throttle transponder for a 210E class, that throttle transponder will cost you, or throttle position switch as they call it in technical speak, $705. I could not believe that this one stupid little part was $705. For $705, I can buy all the parts to rebuild the front suspension on a 300 SD. From Mercedes. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. So, there's actually nothing, the other problem that they go into is they say, oh, if you spend this much money on the car, you will have spent more than the car is worth. Well, let me tell you something. Every time you buy a new car, because of the interest payments and because of the taxes and the fees and the fact you had to dump your trade-in, you spend more than the car is worth. Let that sink in. Every time you go buy a new car or even a new used car, you pay more than the car is worth. Every single car costs more than what it is actually worth to own and drive. So that's a stupid argument. If you want to have a really great car, the car that is the best value for the money is the car that's going to cost the least amount of money to make perfect and will have the highest resale value when you're done. So if you go out and you buy like an 83 240D for $5,000 and spend another $6,000 on it and end up with an $11,000 car that you're going to be able to drive for the next 250,000 miles without having to do an insane amount of work on, I think you did better than losing $11,000 in depreciation. I once made a chart for this customer of mine who was like, well, what is my 126 going to cost compared to a Toyota Camry? And I said, well, it's going to cost a lot less, So I don't know why, with all the common sense you guys have, Scotty, Car Wizard, etc. I'm not hating on you guys, but maybe you should start looking at some of the older cars, because parts of them are actually easier to get than some of the 90s stuff. I'm not joking. It's easier for me to get parts for a 126 than it is like a 99 C230. It's easier for me to get parts for like a 2005 for like a 1994 E300 diesel than it is like a 2005 E350. You know, they're just, it's just, did they make an E320 in that year? I don't know. Anyway, they all kind of look the same anyway. So anyway, if you enjoyed this little rant about the lack of diversity in some of the Mercedes purchasing discussions, please subscribe to this channel because apparently I have appealed to you intellectually. And in the meantime, please like, share, tap the bell for notifications, and check out some of our other content because it's just as interesting and stimulating. That's the word I'm looking for. And in the meantime, I just want to say a quick thank you to all of our Patreon subscribers. Most of you have had a lot of fun talking to me, and so I invite more of you to join because you can, you know, I don't know, a lot of the time I feel like I connect with people regardless of whether they make a Patreon donation, but it really does help our channel a lot. So thank you. And enjoy driving your Mercedes Benz that you already own, regardless of what model it is.